There's something women do when they like a man, something subtle, quiet, almost invisible. They won't say it out loud. They won't admit it even if you ask. Instead, their feelings slip through the cracks, a glance too fast, a reaction too controlled, a memory too detailed to be accidental. Most men miss these signs completely. They look for obvious hints, a direct confession, a bold move, a clear compliment. But women rarely reveal their hearts that way. When a woman truly likes you, her first instinct isn't to show it, it's to protect it. And that's why the strongest signs of hidden attraction aren't loud, they're silent. They live in her eyes, her energy, her timing, her smallest behaviors. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 subtle signs that a woman likes you, even when she's trying her best to hide it. Don't miss the advice that can change the way you perceive and live in love. You will definitely feel more comfortable when you find a quiet place and put on your headphones. Let yourself relax and be ready to receive the positive messages in today's video. Are you ready to start this journey? Let's start together. Number 1. She avoids eye contact. But can't help looking at you again. One of the most subtle, yet most revealing, signs a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, is in her eyes. Not in the long, dreamy stares you see in movies, but in something much more human and uncontrollable, the way she avoids looking at you directly. The way her eyes dart away the moment yours meet. The way she pretends to look somewhere else, yet glances back just a second later to check if you're still looking. Most men misread this. They think she's disinterested, cold, or detached. But a man who has lived long enough, loved deeply enough, and paid attention closely enough knows the truth. Avoidance is not always rejection. Sometimes it's attraction trying to protect itself. Women don't avert their eyes from men they feel nothing for. They look away from the men who make them feel too much. And here's why. A woman's eyes reveal her emotions before her words ever will. Her gaze exposes what she's not ready to admit: desire, curiosity, nervousness, vulnerability. So when a woman feels drawn to you but isn't ready for her feelings to be seen, she hides behind avoidance. The Stoic man understands this instinctively. He doesn't chase validation in her eyes. He doesn't get insecure or try to force a moment of connection. He simply observes, calm, grounded, unbothered. Because he knows that true attraction whispers long before it speaks. When she avoids eye contact, it's not because she wants to distance herself. It's because she's trying to manage the intensity you trigger within her. Think about it. If a woman is comfortable, neutral, or uninterested, she can look you straight in the eye without hesitation. There's no emotional weight, no pressure, no vulnerability. But when she likes you, her body reacts much faster than her logic. Her gaze becomes unstable. Her breath shortens. Her mind scrambles for composure. And in that moment, breaking eye contact becomes her shield. But the story doesn't end there. Look closely, and you'll see something else. After she looks away, she checks again. A small glance. A quick scan. A subtle peek when she thinks you're not noticing. That second look is everything. It's the truth slipping through the cracks of her self-control. It's the feminine instinct revealing itself before her pride can hide it again. It's her heart saying what her lips aren't ready to admit. I've seen this across cultures, personalities, and ages. Shy women do it because they feel overwhelmed. Confident women do it because they don't want to look too eager. Experienced women do it because they've learned to guard their interest. Insecure women do it because they fear getting hurt. Strong women do it because they don't want to lose their power. It's universal. A woman may control her words. She may control her actions. She may control her posture, her tone, even her smile. But she cannot fully control her eyes. The Stoic man knows better than to rush her. He doesn't lean in too fast. He doesn't pressure her into revealing herself. He lets the moment breathe, and that space is what makes her trust him. Because a woman doesn't fear a man who notices her interest. She fears a man who weaponizes it. So when she looks away from you, but looks back again, understand this. She feels something she's not ready to admit. And she's hoping you're a man who won't misuse her vulnerability. This is the kind of subtle signal most men miss. But the man who understands feminine psychology, the man who moves with calmness and intention, sees it clearly. And it is one of the strongest signs she's hiding her attraction. Number 2. She cares about you quietly, not publicly. One of the clearest signs a woman likes you, but is deliberately hiding it, shows up in the way she cares for you. Not loudly. Not openly. Not in ways others can easily see. But in the small, subtle, almost invisible behaviors that reveal her heart long before she's ready to confess anything. A woman who has no feelings for you won't notice much about you. Your mood, your routines, your habits, your energy, none of that registers deeply. But a woman who likes you secretly. She becomes attentive in ways most men miss. She cares in silence. She observes quietly. She watches from the edges of your life, exactly because she's trying not to expose herself. This quiet concern is one of the strongest forms of attraction. Here's what most men don't realize. A woman's hidden affection reveals itself through attention, not confession. She'll notice the smallest changes in your behavior. You look tired today. You seem quieter than usual. You changed your style slightly. You've been distant lately. She picks up on emotional shifts men don't even notice in themselves. Women are wired for emotional awareness, it's their superpower and their burden. But when she likes you, that awareness becomes laser-focused, even if she tries to suppress it. Let me give you an example from my own life. There was a woman I knew years ago, confident, disciplined, admired by many. You would never guess she cared about anyone unless she wanted you to know. But whenever I walked into a room, her behavior shifted in tiny, almost unnoticeable ways. She'd ask someone near me how my day was going, instead of asking me directly. She'd bring up a topic that she randomly heard, even though it was something I'd mentioned once in passing. She'd check on my well-being through indirect questions, disguised as casual conversation. That's what women do when they like you but aren't ready to show it. They create emotional distance publicly but stay connected privately. She won't text you constantly, that would expose her. But she'll remember something you said weeks ago. She won't ask if you're okay directly. That signals too much interest. But she'll check in through an indirect path. She won't show obvious concern, that threatens her composure. But she'll quietly monitor how you're doing. The Stoic man recognizes this pattern without getting ahead of himself. He doesn't assume she's in love. He doesn't inflate his ego. He simply observes, calmly, patiently, without letting his emotions distort his perception. Why does she care secretly instead of openly? For many reasons. She's afraid of rejection. She doesn't want to look obvious. She's protecting her pride. She's unsure of your feelings. She's been hurt before. She's trying not to fall too fast. She wants to see if you're consistent. She wants to stay in control of her emotions. A woman's quiet care is a reflection of her vulnerability. She wants to be close, but she also wants to protect her heart. And this is where the Stoic approach matters. A man grounded in himself does not chase the validation of her care. He appreciates it, but he doesn't cling to it. He acknowledges it, but he doesn't expect it. He sees the truth, but he remains patient. Because nothing pushes a woman away faster than a man who exposes her hidden feelings before she's ready. The man who understands feminine psychology knows. A woman's hidden care is her first step toward trust. If you force it, it dies. If you respect it, it grows. When she cares quietly, it doesn't mean she doesn't want to be seen. It means she wants to feel safe enough to be seen. And once she feels safe, that quiet care becomes open affection. In love, sometimes we don't need too many promises, but just a little understanding and a heart that knows how to listen. It is the experiences, both happy and sad, that help us mature and know how to love more fully. Here, I want to contemplate those things with you, so that each step in the journey of love becomes more clear-headed and peaceful. If you feel that what I share is valuable, please click like to support this video. And if this is your first visit, please click subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss the next insightful perspectives on love. I also really want to hear from you. What do you like most about today's story? Leave a comment below, because who knows, your experience might be a great source of encouragement for someone else who is listening. And now, let's continue to explore what's waiting for you. Number 3. She acts awkward or not like herself when you're around. One of the clearest signs a woman likes you but is trying hard to hide it is this: she stops acting like the version of herself that everyone else sees. She becomes slightly awkward, a little clumsy, unexpectedly quiet, or strangely nervous. It's not that she's pretending, it's that your presence disrupts her ability to perform her usual calm, confident identity. Most men misinterpret this completely. They think, she's not paying attention to me. She's uncomfortable around me. She must not like me. But a man who has truly lived, watched, and understood the subtle patterns of feminine behavior knows the deeper truth. A woman loses composure around the man she's trying not to fall for. It's not logic, it's chemistry. Not planning, but instinct. When a woman likes you secretly, her nervous system reacts faster than her mind can control. You might notice she talks faster or slower than usual, fumbles with simple words, laughs at the wrong moment, becomes stiff or overly formal, avoids standing too close, keeps adjusting her hair or clothes, seems off rhythm compared to how she acts with others. This awkwardness is not a flaw. It's a confession her pride won't let her speak. Let me tell you something only experience can teach you. The women who seem the most composed are often the ones who crumble internally when they're attracted to someone. The confident ones get quiet. The loud ones get shy. The logical ones get flustered. The strong ones get soft. It's the shift, not the behavior itself, that reveals the truth. I remember a woman I knew years ago, sharp, articulate, admired by everyone. She was the type who could walk into any room and own it effortlessly. But when I spoke to her, she became a different version of herself. She lost her words. She held her breath. She blinked more. She stood a little too straight, like she didn't trust her own body to relax. At the time, I mistook it for disinterest. Only later did I understand that her awkwardness was proof of her interest. Women are experts at emotional control, except when they're attracted. Attraction disrupts their calibration. The Stoic man notices this without reacting impulsively. He doesn't tease her. He doesn't point it out. He doesn't make her feel exposed. He simply lets her be, calm, steady, patient. Because a woman's awkwardness is not an invitation to pounce. It's an invitation to create safety. When a man holds his composure, breathes slowly, speaks calmly, and stays grounded, something remarkable happens. Her nervousness starts to settle. Her stiffness softens. Her guardedness fades. She begins to trust the moment. Women hide their feelings because vulnerability is dangerous in a world where men often take advantage of it. But when she becomes awkward around you, what she's really saying is, "You matter to me more than I'm comfortable admitting." She doesn't want you to know. But she also can't stop herself from showing it. This is the paradox of feminine attraction. The harder she tries to hide it, the more visible it becomes. The Stoic man doesn't rush or chase in these moments. He lets her reveal herself slowly. He treats her nervousness with gentleness, not pressure. He respects her pace. Because the man who understands the feminine knows. Awkwardness is not a weakness. It's a woman's heart trying to step forward, and her pride pulling it back. And the man who can hold that tension with calm confidence is the man she eventually chooses. Number 4. She watches your reaction more than the conversation itself. One of the most telling signs a woman secretly likes you, yet tries hard to hide it, is hidden not in her words, but in what she pays attention to. She isn't just listening to what you say. She's watching how you respond, what you think, and whether you notice her at all. A woman who has no feelings for you listens casually. She engages or disengages depending on the topic. But a woman who likes you secretly, she listens with her eyes more than her ears. She studies your reactions, your expressions, your tone, even the smallest shift in your attention. Most men overlook this completely. They're focused on what they're saying, how they look, or whether they're being interesting enough. But a man who has lived long enough, a man with real emotional awareness, knows to look deeper. Because when a woman likes you quietly, she doesn't seek attention, she seeks alignment. She wants to know. Did he hear me? Did he understand what I meant? Does he agree or disagree? Does he look at me differently than others? Does anything I say affect him? And she learns all of this not through your words, but through your subtle, unconscious reactions. Watch her the next time you're in a group conversation. She may pretend to be engrossed in the topic, but every few seconds, she'll glance at you, not to talk, but to measure. She studies you the way a poet studies silence, carefully, intentionally, quietly. It's her way of protecting herself. A woman who likes you but wants to hide it will never show her hand first. She won't risk embarrassment or rejection. Instead, she gathers information. She observes. She takes emotional notes. She collects proof that her feelings aren't one-sided before she allows herself to soften. I remember a woman from my past who embodied this perfectly. In a room full of people, she always seemed untouched by my presence, confident, composed, unbothered. But every time someone made a joke, or whenever I spoke, or even when the topic shifted slightly, she'd glance at me, as if my reaction mattered more than the conversation itself. She thought she was being subtle. She wasn't. Her eyes told the truth she tried to bury. Women do this because feelings make them vulnerable. And vulnerability, to a woman, is not something she offers lightly. She needs to know. Are you the type of man who will value her openness? Or the type who will use it against her? This is where the Stoic man separates himself from the rest. A grounded man doesn't exaggerate his reactions. He doesn't try to impress her. He doesn't mirror her emotions just to gain approval. He simply stays calm, present, and authentic. Why? Because authenticity is more attractive than intensity. And in that authenticity, she finds something she cannot resist: emotional safety. You see, when a woman watches your reaction, she's not judging you. She's searching for something deeper. Stability. Composure. Consistency. Confidence. Self-mastery. She's looking for a man who doesn't get thrown off by small things. A man whose reactions are deliberate, not impulsive. A man whose face reveals maturity, not insecurity. A man who speaks with his presence, not his ego. Because to a woman, a man's reaction tells the truth about who he is. A careless man exposes immaturity. A defensive man exposes insecurity. A reactive man exposes instability. But a grounded man, a stoic man, exposes strength. So if she's watching your reactions more than your words, understand this. She's trying to decide if you're the kind of man she can trust with her feelings. She's trying to see if your presence matches her intuition. She's trying to see if you're safe, emotionally, not physically. And she won't say a word about it. But her eyes will reveal everything. Love is actually like a mirror reflecting the inner self. When we are calm enough, we will realize that every challenge, every silence carries a valuable lesson. And that is what I want to convey through each story on this channel. If you feel that these shares bring value, please leave a like to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe, because who knows, one day, just a small idea from these videos can change the way you look at love, at yourself. Let's continue with me, because there are many interesting things waiting for you to discover. Number 5. She becomes protective of her love life when you ask about it. There is a moment, subtle, quiet, but incredibly revealing, when you ask a woman about her love life, and instead of giving a clear answer, she becomes evasive, vague, or even slightly defensive. She laughs it off. She changes the subject. She dodges with humor. She tells you, it's complicated, when it's not. Or she simply gives you the safest, least revealing version of the truth. Most men miss the meaning behind this. They think she's just private. Or not interested in talking. Or doesn't trust them yet. But the experienced man, the man who understands the inner psychology of women, knows exactly what's happening. When a woman likes you but doesn't want you to know yet, she becomes extremely protective of anything that could expose her feelings, including her romantic status. It's not that she doesn't want to tell you. It's that she's afraid the truth will reveal too much. If she says she's single, she fears you'll see it as a green light. If she says she's talking to someone, she fears you'll think she's unavailable. If she says she's not dating right now, she fears you'll think she's disinterested. If she says it openly, she fears she'll lose her emotional advantage. So instead, she answers just enough to stay mysterious. And not enough to betray her attraction. This emotional guarding is one of the strongest hidden signs of interest. Because let me tell you something only experience can teach. Women are only secretive when the truth makes them vulnerable. A woman who feels nothing for you will tell you everything. Her dating life. Her past relationships. Her mistakes. Her preferences. Her heartbreaks. She'll speak openly because there's no emotional risk. But a woman who likes you, she doesn't want you to know how available she is. Or how available she could be for you. Her romantic silence isn't distance. It's protection. She's protecting her pride. She's protecting her heart. She's protecting the emotional tension between you, the mystery that keeps things exciting. The Stoic man understands this instinctively. He doesn't push. He doesn't pry. He doesn't interrogate. He doesn't corner her into revealing more. He lets her keep her emotional cover until she feels safe. Because a woman will only reveal her love life to a man she either 1. Does not care about, 2. Or feels deeply safe with. And if she's hiding while watching your reaction. If she's playing it cool while her voice softens. If she's avoiding specifics but not avoiding you. Then you should understand something important. She's not hiding her love life from you, she's hiding her interest in you. Her vagueness is its own confession. Her silence is a signal. Her half-answers speak louder than full ones. Because when a woman likes you, she becomes afraid that revealing too much might expose the truth she is not yet ready for you to see. I've witnessed this many times, with the shy ones, the strong ones, the confident ones, and the guarded ones. No matter how different they were, they all reacted the same way when you touched the topic of romance. They protected the part of themselves connected to you. The Stoic man doesn't misread it as disinterest. He reads it as emotional self-defense. He remains steady, calm, patient. Because he knows. A woman's hesitation is not a wall, it is a door she hasn't decided to open yet. And the right man doesn't push the door. He waits for her to unlock it. Number 6. She remembers the smallest things about you, even things you forgot you said. There is a level of attention that only appears when a woman likes you, a kind of focus so subtle and so precise that most men have no idea they're being observed. She doesn't just hear you, she absorbs you. She remembers the little things you say, the small preferences you mention, the offhand comments you barely noticed. And yet when you look at her, she acts as if none of it matters. But it does. Deeply. A woman who is indifferent forgets quickly. A woman who is polite listens selectively. But a woman who secretly likes you. She remembers the details you didn't even intend to share. Your favorite drink. The song you liked when you were 17. The restaurant you said you want to try someday. The stress you casually mentioned last week. The funny thing your friend did that you thought she didn't hear. She stores these things quietly, not because she's trying to impress you, but because her attention naturally sharpens around the man she's drawn to. Most men don't realize how powerful this is. They mistake her memory for friendliness or politeness. But they don't understand the psychological truth. Women only remember details about the men who emotionally affect them. A woman's mind holds onto what her heart reacts to. When she remembers something small about you, she is showing interest in the safest way possible, without exposing herself, without making herself vulnerable, and without risking rejection. It's the perfect balance of affection and self-protection. And here's the fascinating part. She remembers the details not to use them, but to feel connected to you. Women create emotional attachments through memory. Men attach through presence and shared experience. Women attach through meaning, nuance, and emotional threads, even invisible ones. I've seen this in every kind of woman, shy, bold, guarded, experienced, logical, emotional, it doesn't matter. The moment she starts remembering you, she's already invested. Years ago, I met a woman who barely spoke to me at first. Reserved. Mysterious. Hard to read. But one day, she casually mentioned something I had said in passing months before. Something so small, so irrelevant, that even I had forgotten it. That's when I knew. Her silence wasn't disinterest. It was protection. But her memory? That was interest in its purest form. The Stoic man understands this. He knows that genuine interest from a woman isn't always spoken, it's demonstrated. He doesn't brag about her attention. He doesn't confront her with it. He doesn't tease her for remembering things. He simply appreciates it quietly, because he understands what it means. She is allowing you to take up emotional space inside her mind. That is not something women give lightly. Why does she hide it? Because remembering is safe. But confessing is not. Because remembering is subtle. But vulnerability is loud. Because remembering allows her to feel connected. Without risking her pride. A woman's memory is a love language she never admits. It's her way of saying, "You matter to me more than I want you to know." The inexperienced man overlooks it. The insecure man demands more. But the grounded man, the Stoic man, recognizes the quiet significance of every detail she holds on to. Because he knows. A woman may hide her feelings. But her memory betrays her every time. Number 7. She behaves differently around you, her energy shifts in ways she can't control. If there's one sign that exposes a woman's hidden feelings more clearly than anything else, it's this: her entire energy changes when you're around. Not dramatically, not theatrically, but subtly, in those small, involuntary shifts in her body language, tone, presence, and rhythm. A woman who likes you secretly may try to act normal, relaxed, unaffected. But her body always reveals the truth her pride tries to hide. You'll notice she's slightly more aware of herself, how she stands, how she speaks, how she moves. She may become more feminine, more graceful, or sometimes the opposite. More stiff, more controlled, more proper than she usually is. She might speak softer, or suddenly become more talkative. She might act colder, or unexpectedly warmer. It's not the behavior itself that matters. It's the shift. A woman's energy shifts only around the man who affects her emotionally. Most men misunderstand this completely. They think, she's hot and cold. She's acting weird. She's not consistent. She's hard to read. But I'll tell you what years of experience taught me. A woman becomes unpredictable only when she's trying to hide feelings she can't fully suppress. Her mind tries to stay neutral. Her emotions don't cooperate. Her body betrays her honesty. She may avoid standing too close, not because she dislikes you, but because closeness intensifies what she feels. She may suddenly act confident, not because she's secure, but because your presence makes her want to impress you. She may tease you more. Not because she's bold, but because it's safer than being sincere. She may act indifferent, not because she's cold, but because she's scared of being obvious. Attraction makes women unpredictable. Fear of exposure makes them controlled. The combination makes them contradictory, and that contradiction is the giveaway. I once knew a woman who was calm and composed around everyone. Nothing rattled her. Nothing flustered her. But when I walked into the room, she became a completely different person, overly careful with her words, overly polite, overly aware of her own presence. Not because she feared me. Because she liked me. And that's something a Stoic man understands deeply. A woman who feels for you will lose her balance around you, even if she tries her best to stay grounded. Her feminine energy reacts before her logic does. And that reaction cannot be suppressed. Women can fake disinterest, but they cannot fake energy. The inexperienced man pushes her, questions her, tries to decode her emotionally. The insecure man gets confused and assumes she's not interested. But the grounded man, the Stoic man, sees the shift, recognizes it, and stays calm. He doesn't lean in aggressively. He doesn't interrogate her feelings. He doesn't reveal that he has noticed. He simply allows her to be herself, without pressure. Because the truth is this. A woman hides her feelings until she feels safe enough to reveal them. And the man who stays steady through her contradictions becomes the man she finally opens up to. When her energy shifts around you, even in the smallest ways, it means you matter. And when a man matters, a woman's heart reacts long before her words do. Her silence may hide her interest. But her energy never will. Conclusion. At the end of the day, women rarely confess their feelings directly. Not because they're playing games, and not because they want to confuse you, but because vulnerability feels dangerous to them. A woman will test the emotional safety of a man long before she reveals the truth in her heart. And these 7 subtle signs, the avoided eye contact, the quiet care, the nervous shifts, the way she watches your reaction, the guardedness about her love life, the surprising memory, and the change in her energy, they're not random. They're her first steps toward trust. A woman hides her feelings because she wants to be sure. Sure that you won't judge her. Sure that you won't take advantage of her softness. Sure that you won't expose her vulnerability. Sure that you're emotionally grounded enough to handle what she feels. This is why the Stoic man stands out. He doesn't chase. He doesn't pressure. He doesn't rush her heart before it's ready. He stays calm, attentive, observant, letting her reveal herself at her own pace. When you become that kind of man, women stop hiding. Because emotional safety is the one thing that makes a woman's walls fall without you asking. So don't obsess over what she says. Don't overthink mixed signals. Don't analyze every small inconsistency. Just watch her behavior in the quiet moments. Watch the way her energy shifts when you're near. Watch the signs she doesn't intend to show. Because hidden attraction is never truly hidden. A woman can control her words. But she cannot control the man her heart reacts to. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. Hopefully the sharing about love and lessons from this video will help you have new thoughts and find empathy. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share with those around you. Each of us has our own stories about love, and I'm happy to explore them with you. See you in the next videos. Wishing you a wonderful day filled with love.